Marcus Williams notices the faint scratch of pen on paper before anything else. The hotel clerk at Hampton Hills is adding a charge to his reservation total without even looking up. $200 labeled as a pet fee, casually tacked on as if a service dog were no different than a vacationer's golden retriever who sheds all over the furniture. Marcus stands unmoving at the counter while Duke, his disciplined German shepherd, sits glued to his left knee, alert, silent, and every bit the professional partner he was trained to be. It's almost midnight on a Tuesday. The road trip from North Carolina to Colorado has stretched his nerves to a frayed thread. His sister's wedding is days away, and he promised himself that nothing, absolutely nothing, would keep him from being there. Yet here he is, trapped in a lobby that smells like industrial cleaner and burnt coffee, under buzzing lights that make him twitch like he's back-scanning rooftops for muzzle flashes. Civilian life was supposed to be easier than war zones. Sometimes he isn't convinced. Ashley, the young clerk behind the counter, tucks a strand of hair behind her ear and finally acknowledges the dog like she's spotted a cockroach on the carpet. Her keyboard clacks faster as she mentions hotel rules about pets. Marcus calmly produces the standard paperwork he's shown countless times: official VA documentation, Duke's certification, identification cards, everything legitimate and by the book. She looks at it for less than a heartbeat before dismissing it with a shrug. Too many people lie, she says. Too many pets disguised as medical necessities. Corporate won't let her make exceptions anymore. And besides, he looks fine, healthy, capable. Not the kind of person who needs a trained dog to help him breathe when the world suddenly feels like it's collapsing inward. Marcus doesn't flinch at the accusation. He learned years ago that revealing hurt only encourages people like this. He explains federal law, ADA protections, what distinguishes a service animal from an ordinary pet. Every word delivered in a controlled, even tone. Years of being the calmest person in the room when chaos erupts has its uses, but Ashley hears nothing except what she wants. A stranger trying to bend rules she barely understands. Duke picks up on the tightening in Marcus's shoulders, shifting closer to maintain contact. The shepherd's eyes follow every twitch, every inhale, ready to intervene if the pressure inside Marcus's skull spikes too hard or too fast. The dog isn't some luxury companion. He's the reason Marcus can walk across a parking lot at night without his pulse detonating into panic. Other guests start noticing the tension. A businessman near the elevator steals glances over his phone. An older couple hovers by the vending machines pretending they're deciding between chips while eavesdropping shamelessly. Marcus hates this feeling. Exposed, misunderstood, judged by people who have no idea what his nightmares look like. Ashley insists on the fees and pushes the payment screen toward him like she expects him to cave. $250 is nothing compared to what freedom cost him overseas, but it's money he saved for his sister's wedding gift, money that shouldn't be wasted on ignorance. His breathing gets harder. The ceiling lights feel too bright, the exit's too far away. Duke leans gently against his leg, grounding him. A reminder that he isn't back in that Afghan alley where the walls blew outward with a sound like the world ripping in half. Here, he is supposed to be safe. Ashley makes it worse. She claims Duke looks too well trained, too clean to be authentic. Says she's seen fakes before and Marcus must be another one trying to cheat the system. Her voice carries, slicing through the lobby like a blade meant to strip away dignity. Duke stays steady, head high, refusing to react even though her tone drips with contempt. Marcus pulls out his phone. If she wants to ignore the law, fine. He'll record every violation. The prospect of accountability wipes the confidence right off her face. She plays the private property card, threatens to call security. He informs her calmly that he has every right to document potential discrimination. Ashley bristles, cornered by her own stubbornness. The businessman steps closer and quietly offers to be a witness. The clerk sees more phones rising, people capturing proof. Her cheeks flush with anger and fear, yet she refuses to retreat. Then the front desk phone rings. Ashley answers. Professional tone snapped back into place, but her posture wilts almost immediately. She listens. She nods. Her mouth falls open, the color draining like someone pulled a plug beneath her skin. Corporate legal compliance. They already know. Someone called them fast, and they are not pleased. They tell her the fees are illegal. They tell her Marcus's documentation has been reviewed and verified through their system. They tell her that continuing to obstruct ADA accommodations could cost the hotel far more than the room she's arguing over. They tell her to correct this immediately. Her hands tremble as she deletes charges from the screen and types up a complimentary suite upgrade. She apologizes in circles, tripping over her own excuses. Late checkout, breakfast, anything he wants. Just please don't take this further. She realizes she didn't just overstep policy. She violated civil rights. And everyone around them knows it now. The general manager arrives eventually, hair tousled from rushing out of bed. He apologizes with sincerity Ashley lacked. Promises retraining. Promises this won't happen again. Promises that Duke will always be welcome at any Hampton Hills property. Offers to reimburse Marcus for the wedding gift out of goodwill. Marcus doesn't ask for that. Accountability is enough. By the time he and Duke finally reach their upgraded room, exhaustion folds around him like a heavy blanket. Duke completes a silent check, corners, closet, windows, before settling close enough to be felt. The anxiety ebbs, replaced by the relief of finally being treated like a human being rather than a problem to be managed. The wedding weekend goes on without another hitch. His sister remains blissfully unaware of what nearly derailed everything. Marcus watches her smile during the ceremony, happy that his presence wasn't stolen by someone else's ignorance. Half a year later, a letter arrives. Corporate thanks him for his patience. In the envelope, another note written shakily by Ashley herself. She completed disability awareness training. She apologizes without excuses. She admits she didn't understand, that she spoke from assumption rather than knowledge. She promises she'll never again judge invisible wounds. The real win isn't the nicer room or the apologies. It's knowing that he stood firm not just for himself but for every veteran trying to exist quietly in a world that can't see their scars. Duke rests his head on Marcus's knee as he reads the letter. The dog doesn't know what laws were changed or who learned a lesson. Duke only knows his job. Keep Marcus steady, keep him alive, guide him through every unseen battlefield that still comes for him in silence. Some victories don't happen on deployment. Some don't earn medals or make the news. Sometimes the most meaningful battles are fought under buzzing lobby lights, where the enemy is ignorance and the win is dignity.